It is easy to read. Yes.
Oh, and Tanya just mentioned.
Okay.
um,
Okay. Will, the YouTube live meeting, are you taking care of that as well?
Yes, all set. Yeah, it's unfortunately it's on the wrong committee, but we're gonna have to transfer it later. There's a technical issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see then what is.
All right. And I see another
Please.
name, an unfamiliar name, but a very welcome one.
Oh.
Talitha, is it Talitha Coggins?
Yes. Hi.
Welcome. And which agency or organization are you representing?
Hi, Department of Social Services. I'm sitting in for Ashford Fair and Pool. Our
Okay,
chief of staff. Yeah.
great, thank
very
you.
much.
Good. So you can think about which one of the two groups for today you would like to participate on. We will talk about that in a few minutes. We have the school start time and the infant and toddler group. We are working together. It's just to try to get a way to look at this, a plan to create today, because our first report is due in January and we have only had our second meeting as of today. So we need to value everyone's time during this busy holiday season, but be ready to prepare that report as well. All right, so.
And Anne-Marie, I'm sorry. Well, Anne-Marie has joined us. Good to see you, Anne-Marie.
Okay.
And Alicia, what we'll do to, people are providing some information in the chat. So what we'll do, what we did the last time, just save the chat and then we can update people's titles and so forth.
Great. All right, so let's see here. Now I'm having. Let's see what's next on the agenda. Next on the agenda is looking at the language from the task force, which we'll put up here. I can't get this now too.
We can see the website now with the language up the top.
Yes, great. Okay, now you can see the agenda, correct?
Yes.
Beautiful. All right. So next here, I'm sorry, it's the language still. So there is a little bit on pages 18 and 19, and it was added to the top of the website, but someone rightly asked to see exactly what was written in the state statute, and here it is in the bill. So this is what it says. This paragraph here is what is on the website that we just looked at. So we have to look at what we've already been assigned from the previous task force from last year, and then look at the two other charges. And there is a little bit of additional information there for the number 2, it says in this paragraph, to provide recommendations to meet the demand for infant and toddler care in the state by increasing access to and enrollment in child care centers, group child care homes, and family child care homes, and identify resources to assist such centers and homes in meeting such demand. And then the other is the study of the feasibility of adjusting the school start time to improve students' mental and physical well-being. And then the rest of it is just who's going to be on the committee and how they will be appointed. So that is exactly what people asked, and here it is. But again, it is back on the website for you to look at as well. All right, so this was a great job that was done by someone. I'm not sure, Christopher, we were given the name of the person, but you can see these are all of our recommendations, and the ones highlighted here in green indicate that there has been some progress, and you can see what has been done here for all of them. All of these have, as you can look for yourself, have been addressed. So H6 has not. So this is the pay for service in school, but H7, 8, 13, so 14 and 15 still, we can look at those. But there's some nice progress here that we can look at. if we have time, even in our individual committees a little bit, anything that relates to what we're doing now or any other questions that we'd like to look at, or maybe anyone, someone may have had the chance, and that's the whole report, to look at it and might have a question or a comment. I'll pause to wait to see if anything in the chat about this, Christopher?
Not just yet. One thing I would just let folks know who are joining us for the first time this year is the nomenclature. In the original law, which was passed in 21, this task force was charged with sort of making recommendations that were aligned to ASCD, the International Education Organization's whole child framework, which includes 5 tenets: that students be healthy, safe, so that they can come to school and be engaged, challenged, and supported. And so what we did when we made our recommendations last year was we sort of clustered the recommendations either as one that's directly tied to healthy, or safe, or engaged, or challenged, or supported. And so that's why it says H1 or C1.
Right. So these go back to, you can look back to our report that is on the website to remind yourself what the actual recommendations were, to how they connected. That's great, Christopher. Thank you.
Ms. Sakato, were you trying to break in?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
No
no,
worries.
that's why I just saw your little name box went green, so I thought perhaps you were trying to say
Oh, I'm
something.
so sorry. I had
That's
my,
okay.
let me mute.
Okay.
That's all right. No worries. All right. So
And the other thing I would say, Alicia, is that when folks look at the folks who weren't part of last year's group, when they look at the recommendations, what we did was we wrote out what the recommendation was, but then in the cell directly beneath it, we included references to supporting documentation. Oh, thank you, Alicia. That's helpful.
yeah, I'm trying to get this here. No, it won't connect. Well, I looked at it before here.
Well, it's okay. Folks will have a chance to do it.
Right.
And then Will is going to upload the legislative update too, so that'll be helpful for folks to see
Right.
what we recommended, on what basis we made those recommendations, and then
Nothing here's linked.
and then the progress that's been made. So that would be helpful.
Great. All right. So then we are going to look at then the heart of our meeting. And Christopher and I thought we might need a half hour. We'll make 2 breakout groups. And these are people last time we met and the group that they wanted to join. So we can put people's names up if they want to tell us now. Like we can put up here, I don't know if it's going to be separate or not, but I can just put her up here for now. We can always add her separately later too. Anyone from the list? Oh, I know we said Tabitha is here for Astrid Fair and Pool.
School start times.
Great, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm Alicia. I'd be on infant and toddler.
Great.
And Ms. Coggins, is it Tabitha or Talitha? I thought it was.
Do I have it incorrect? Please correct.
It's Talitha.
Thank you.
T-A-L. No problem. T-A-L-I-T-H-A.
I think I have it now. And I'll put you here with Astrid.
Okay.
All right.
This is Tammy Benningham calling. I'm from DDS. Just under infant and toddler, my last name is spelled incorrectly.
Help me with this, please.
V as in Victor,
Yes.
E-N-E-N-G-A. So it was
Thanks.
close.
No, thank you. We wanted to make sure.
No, I
I'm sorry.
appreciate
Yeah, I didn't check it. I was given it as we asked, but I should have checked it. I apologize. And Anne Marie
Okay,
said she
thank you so much.
Oh, no, we need to have that correct. It's very important. Okay, perfect. All right, excellent. Anybody else can just join and we can add later, but at least we have the names and hopefully spelled correctly here now. Did I write that wrong or?
With a P.
Yes,
Pool.
I have that wrong. I'm just looking at now, that just looks like an R. There we
And then it's Astrid, Astread.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
I only remember that because she spelled it for me last week or 2 weeks ago.
No. That's exactly why we do this. Like I say, it is important. All right, then. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Do we have 2 breakout rooms set up? Yes.
Oh,
All
and
right.
before that, I see that Julia Anderson has joined us.
All right.
I'm not a member of the committee. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm just here from Senate Democrats.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Great. You can join. We're going to break up now into 2 groups so we can look at the 2 charges and try to get a plan that we can then present in our January 1 report that's due. We know we won't be able to accomplish too much more than that, but if there are other people we do want to include or any other documents we do want to gather or anything else to discuss, that will be our time to do that. Christopher, anything else you want to add before?
I was thinking what we could do today,
Yes.
when we break up. And again, we'll, Alicia and I will sort of text each other if we
Right.
seem like we're going to need more time or if we feel like we won't need quite as much time as we identified. But since there are people who can't be here this week, obviously because it's the
Right.
holiday, I think what we'll do is each group will draft, what we think our plan might be. And then we'll share that with those folks who were unable to be with us. And then we can sort of reconcile the 2, which is how we operated last year, which I think really worked well for folks because they could be a part of it, even if they had a conflict and couldn't come to the meeting. And we'll do the same thing for subsequent meetings too.
Thank you. And then we will, when we meet in December, review all of the pieces as a group to be sure we're in agreement that is what we want to send as our January 1 report. Perfect. All right, then at this time, so we're looking at a half hour. If people would, on the bottom where it says breakout room, click that and you will see there are 2 choices, school start time, and you can join that one, or infant and toddler, and you can join that one. If you don't have one, on top is your name and we can assign you. I'm going to assign Anne Marie now to the infant and toddler. So you should be able to hopefully join that one, Anne Marie. Now, do you see that, Anne Marie? On the bottom there, you can join. Okay.
I believe everyone has. Hi, are you supposed to be in a breakout room or did you leave a breakout room?
I was gonna come late, so she gave me this Zoom thing to come because she thought they'd be in the breakout rooms already.
Which breakout room would you like to join?
The one about the school times.
Okay, it should be right at the bottom of the screen and you
I
should go
got it
to
now.
breakout rooms and
Yeah, I got
Great. I always panic with Zoom because the Board of Regents wouldn't let us use Zoom for our classes. So I'm always afraid if I'm in an unfamiliar platform that I'm going to click the wrong thing.
The other room is still going.
I see people returning now.
Okay.
Yeah, Alicia and I had sort of texted back and forth just to coordinate.
Has everyone returned?
I believe so.
Okay. So then for the agenda there, just to give a quick update. Christopher, do you want to start with what you discussed with your?
Yeah, I might put somebody on the spot.
Okay.
Very unkind. Christine, are you still with us?
I'm here.
So just in half of an elevator speech, how would you characterize the discussion we just had in our group?
So we talked briefly on other groups or people or agencies that should be involved with our topic. And we discussed many topics very briefly. I'm going to go through like transportation, athletics, working in the labor department, and juvenile safety without having a parent or a caregiver around, childcare, places in the community such as doctors' offices and whatnot, all of these things possibly being impacted by a change in school time. So things we're going to look at and work through.
Thank you. And people had, I have several pages of chicken scratch notes of specific entities whom we'll want to involve in one way or another, maybe even invite, actually, in some cases, invite them to join some meetings, not this go around, but once we start the actual work in January. So thank you guys. Very, very enlightening group. Good conversation.
Yes, great. And I was fortunate to be able to have both Maggie and Jennifer with us and others who also contributed. And we decided the same. I mean, with there being $25 million on the table right now, it really helps us to move the work that we've been given as a charge forward. But we would like to next year, as you had stated, invite actual childcare providers to talk with us about what some of their needs would be so that we can include more information there. But they've been very busy in the Office of Early Childhood trying to get all those grant monies out. And we know that we're also have to look after that about the quality and be sure that, we want to review what has been done. But there is a substantial amount of money right now on the table to get this job done, started. 1,300 is a lot of capacity to add on during this current fiscal year. So they're going to give us some more information too that we can put together to show some progress that has been made, and then we'll look to work more on that next calendar year.
I just want to ask Will a question, if I might. Will, so in our breakout room, different people had begun thinking of different resources to which they might have access. So they'll email them to me, but then can we email them to you so that in our little folder on the webpage, you'll just be able to upload those resources?
Yeah, no, if you want to email me anything, I can add them into like this meeting's agenda. There's gonna be a little tab that will say this meeting, there'll be an agenda, and then I can also add any number of other documents in addition to that.
Okay, just and that's what we had done last year, albeit with Google, but it was, I think, helpful for folks to have sort of a compendium of all the resources that we work, so we could all be looking at the same materials. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
I think we should delineate, Christopher, and put them either under the school start times document heading there or the infant and toddler heading so that people
Yeah.
can find them as opposed to the date. So we'll tell him that when we get them, because I'm going to get some things too, people from our committee, and we'll add those so that we can review those. And
Right.
maybe even include some of those resources with our plan, our January report.
Right. And yeah, I think that'll be helpful because the the legislators will be able to sort of come to the website too and see, all the resources that we're citing as we did the
Right.
last time. All right. So I think that's it for our breakout session update.
I think so too. I think that's great. And so we did add another meeting on. I'm keeping with the Monday. And we probably won't need, the 90 minutes. We will strive to do the hour, but if we have 90 minutes, especially if we're going to invite people, we might need people to those minutes. Have a little bit longer time if we'll invite someone. And Christopher and I will keep coordinating that and bringing us together at the end of every meeting so that we're sure if we want to share or see anything, everyone's opinion is valuable on all of this work. So we don't want to exclude anyone, but because we have two big charges, we thought this might be the best way to move us forward and keep making this progress. So keep letting us know if this works for you. If you want to change and go to a certain meeting at a certain time, you're more than flexible to be able to do that. We encourage that as well. So hopefully that January meeting works, and we'll see about how many meetings we need to have once we get that plan out for January. Then we can maybe assess that as a large group here as to how many meetings we will need.
Okay, great.
Okay. And we will get something, Christopher and I will have to meet. So Christopher and I will stay on with Will for just a few minutes here and try to plan so that we can get something to you before that or right around that. It's not much time, but that December 12th time, so that you can look at it, review it, and then we'll be able to send it to the appropriate people then by the January 1st. We'll do it before the holiday like we did last time, because after that, it's too hard to get anything to them by January 1st for us too. So does that approach sound fine for everyone? All right. Thank you so much, everyone. It's a busy week. We appreciate your time during this holiday week, and very appropriately, we are thankful for all of you, and we hopeful that you hope that you all have a wonderful time with your family and friends on this Thanksgiving. Thank you very much then, everyone. We'll see you in
Thank you.
December.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. Be safe.
Thank you. Great holiday.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.